2025. An interesting year so far. You've all noticed a change, right? Since COVID. I'm 19, believe it or not. And since we were forced to stay in our houses for an entire year, which I can't believe we let that happen as a species, but it has not had an effect on us to just scroll. Partake in these. That's staying in. And it's made us weaker. We've allowed our government to protect pedophiles, not victims. Because those victims want us to know, because they know who violated them. And we're just not going to do anything. We're going to scroll. We're going to go to work the next day. We're going to play video games. We're going to get drunk. We're going to participate in our vices. Are we that lost? Are we that far from God now? Not as God as the Christian, but as the idea of an other spiritual power. Are we that lost? To where knowing that quite possibly the person who makes laws in your state, in our country, in your country, that the person who owns the company that you work at went to that island. What are you gonna do? Watch this. Scroll to the next video. Fucking a little bit. Go to work. Then sleep, eat. Your daily routine. This needs to shake you. It shook me. Something ain't right. Not just with you or me, but everything going on. And we need to acknowledge that, man. You can now interact with a piece of technology that has been given government contracts. OpenAI, ChatGPT. These things are affecting us. They're affecting you. Right now. You just ain't felt it yet. It's like a workout. Man, it feels good when you do it. You feel like you're improving. Look at that weak ass bicep. That could use some more gym membership. And then guess what? Next day, you are sore. You're sore. You hurt. But damn, that was good. Remember that time you needed to get that project done? And you use ChatGPT to just help you out a little bit, you know? Nothing big. Guess what? That was your first mistake. Because now you use that shit every day almost. If you're one of those people. If not, oh, you're lucky you just doom scroll or something. We are so enveloped in disconnection. I mean, you see me talking here right now. You understand the words I'm speaking. But most likely, you've never met me. I wear things that you might notice. I'm in a room with 4 walls and a ceiling. You have one of those too. But guess what? You're seeing it God knows how many miles away from the actual filming location of where I'm located. Yet you're interacting with me. You're observing me through an observation of an artificial device. And you know what's happening while you're doing this? If you're lucky enough to see this, there's a ditty for the algorithm out there who has legal, governmental, and diplomatic power over you. Hell, they might even write your paycheck for whatever company you work at. I want you to ask yourself, think of the person who you are right now, who you were, and you could be if you keep doing the things that you tell yourself you're going to stop doing. Now, times that times 10, and imagine if you gave that weak, impulsive person governmental and diplomatic power. Now times that by any conceivable fucking number possible, and you got our world leaders. They're a weaker you. They're so weak that they rely on the numbers that they view you as to dictate how their life works. We're not the slaves, we're the masters. We are the consumer. And how is a cook going to sustain his business if no one eats? Think about that. The banks that pay you, the credit unions, possibly. I don't got enough life experience to speak on this, but anyways. The credit unions that pay you, the banks that issue your check or accept the check from the you know what I mean, that pay you. All the money they use was lended out somewhere down the line. You're paid with your own fucking money, bro. You're paid with your own fucking money. I'm paid with my own fucking money. I work at a Kroger, dog. I buy shit at Kroger. And then the next week I get paid on a Thursday. With my own fucking money. With your money. You want to know what interest is in the bank? And then why that shit goes up? You know, if you don't spend all your money, or your savings just goes up and up. Because they lend that shit out, dude. Here's another penny through your thoughts. A little thought experiment for you. Alright? This is mainly an American thing. But, you know, like waitresses, DoorDash, Uber Eats, all these, you know, people who accept tips, who rely on tips. You know what that is? That's poor paying the poor, dog. That's the broke sustaining the broker. It essentially just makes you no better than the CEO that fucking pays you, or the company, conglomerate, whatever the hell, business that you work for every day. That I work for every day. You know? You're scraping, depending who you are, depending who's seeing this, you're scraping by this much. And you're tipping 15%. How about that motherfucker just pays the person you're tipping a livable wage? A struggleable or survivable wage. Now, it's not even livable. It's not even livable. It's survivable. It's that COVID fucked us, bro. And you know what? I think we stopped taking it. I think we look at the news and we look at the world we live in. This goes out to my fellow Zoomers. Whoa, the lingo. The lingo. Oh my God, the lingo. My fellow Zoomers. We all know it's bullshit, dog. Especially if my age, you just graduated. If you got any fucking sense to you, you know this is all bullshit and a lie. Stop believing in it. Please. Because it's going to benefit you, me, and the right people in the long run. If you stop living this lie, bro. Believing in this shit. Trump is protecting pedophiles. And if true, all the conceivable worst possibilities involved with this Epstein list and shit. World leader, powerful people. People that you trust to write your paychecks, run the world. But you wouldn't trust them to watch your kids. I don't like pedophiles. You don't like kid ditties. You don't like ditties in general. So why the fuck are you gonna participate with them? Because indirectly, me, you, your parents, your grandparents, any person participating in the society, any functioning member of society is feeding into their bullshit and giving them what they want. Now, I want you to look this up, and this is for real. Did you know it would take one day of people not buying Coca-Cola to bankrupt Coca-Cola? Now imagine, okay, this pinnacle of soda, pop, fizzy drinks. I'm out of water, never mind. I was going to take a sip, but that's not happening. Fun fact, former Nestle chairman said water is not a human right. Anyways, this pop and stuff, it's made in America. American culture. Hell yeah. Wow. I love oil. I love food dyes. I love this shitty democracy. I love scrolling for 3 hours straight and not doing anything. like a good participating member of society, a good civilian, a good patriot. I love voting in this stupid fucking illusion. I love feeling like I'm making a difference. Because they have the things in place to make you think you're making your decisions just enough. Because everything is so disconnected. Just enough to where you think you actually affected something. No. Orange Man was going to be president either way. Whether it was electoral college or like through popular vote. Like I guarantee you, if you just had enough brain cells to not associate yourself with the rest of society, but the common feelings that we have as humans and what we know is right is wrong, and more spiritual stuff like that, you at least could get a whiff of the bullshit, dude, because this shit is stinky. They just got really good cologne. And unfortunately, we also got allergies. Something's making us sneeze. For some reason, we don't know what it is. But last I checked, when you smell shit, you gag. When you see shit, you gag. Why is no one gagging? Why is no one going, hold on. He won't release the Epstein files? What are we doing, brothers and sisters? My fellow 10-fingered friends. A chimpanzee has more common sense than we do, apparently. Our laws have more common sense than the citizen. Pedophilia is illegal. We're just going to allow the people who we may not bump into, but interact with, be pedophiles. The people who have more power over us are weaker than us. Think about that. Think about it. Would you ever conceive of violating a child's innocence? No. Better not. EDP head ass. You would protect that shit. You would sacrifice yourself for a baby, for a child. Think of it this way. The victims of everyone on that Epstein list were more likely, if not just as close to be or recently being a baby as you were at the time of their victimhood. Here's the thing about human life. We all were once a child. And essentially, we base our entire life off of that. Because, like, when you're that fresh, pretty much form the same ideas as everyone else. Obviously, there's cultural differences, all these things. You know, the common sense things that you should, the nuance, if you know what that means. Sorry to underestimate the general audience. But we have to just see all this stuff and be like, hey, I'm going to tell my parents, I'm going to tell my coworkers, I'm going to tell my bosses, I'm going to tell everyone, and I'm going to tell them to spread the message to, like, maybe we shouldn't participate in this shit no more. Maybe we should show them the power we have Because they pay us with the money that we spend. You wanna know why there's so much fucking debt, bro? Because they pay you with your own money. Like, dude, every country has a fuck ton of debt. Maybe there's one who doesn't. But everyone has a boss. Everyone has a debt they need to pay. Spiritually, emotionally, physically, whatever. We all fucking know something. What do you owe to yourself? What do you owe to your future self? What do you owe to kids now, then, and forever? It's 2 letters in the English language, many other languages, and it usually starts with an N. No. Just say no, bro. Don't buy anything. Don't use technology. Just don't do anything that you've been doing since anything that. Don't be a protective member of society for 24 hours. You know what? Fuck it, dude. We have the capabilities to message all our neighbors, interact with them more importantly. They're right next to you, dog. Say something. You can message them on Facebook. You got forums, you got boards. All of these places to where you, as an individual, supposedly, are interacting day to day, minute by minute, daily, secondly, weekly, whatever the fuck, with people who either have your same interests and hobbies, because that's why you're in that forum, chat board, Discord server, whatever the fuck. People who have a genuine spark to them, a soul, a consciousness maybe, something. Fuck it, if you're in a gang, you got people who think like you because they're in a gang. And be like, hey bro, maybe we don't fuck with pedophilia. Cause participation, power, and pedophilia all start with a P, buddy. And they all rely on your personal accountability. So how about we say like, fuck it, dude. 24 hours of freedom. That's what we're gonna give them. Freedom from our responsibilities, our financial responsibilities of buying. Imagine if the stock market just froze, bro. No one bought anything. No one sold anything. What if enough people had the gall, the heart, to realize it's either now or never? And we have a history of maybe having more defining moments as a race. Not started with the slashes of a sword or the bang of a bullet, but the ignition of an idea and the boom of a loud enough voice to speak it. And I will ask you this. As people who have a genuine sense of morality, an idea of right or wrong, people who have the same eyes as me, as many fingers, and the same possibly structured brain, same species, you're gonna take that spiritually. Are you gonna take that? Will you allow yourself to be belittled to a number, an idea. And not in the enlightened sense, in the controlled sense. Maybe no one will see this. Maybe this will be the finalizing moment. But all I have to say is just don't participate. Functioning member of society, my ass, bro. Complicit in solidation. Complicity and control both start with a C. And in my eyes, they're a synonym. Compliance is a product of control and manipulation. To a certain extent, especially when it's applied maliciously by those who hold power or knowledge that is not given to the masses. Taking advantage of ignorance. We as a species, as a brain, as a heart, as a soul, have started religions, have brought about ideas, if not then, now, and in the future, changed the world. Just by getting other people to hear it, to observe it. I'm wearing an idea right now. I'm sitting on an idea. That's an idea. That's a movie. You know what? One idea I'm not going to accept? Being controlled by fucking pedophiles. I rather my own neighbor have more power over the decisions I make than someone I'll never see the rest of my life. Would you marry a woman on the internet and never see her? Only on video call? Or a guy? And never ever meet them? No! Then why the fuck would you let somebody that you can't kick out of your house tell you how to decorate the living room? That, my friends, is all I gotta say. This has been Ginger with a Soul. And I ain't gonna stop saying this shit till something happens. Observe with the heart, not with your eyes.